Hey everyone, welcome back to Rainbow Tarot UK. Particularly if you're new, then it's lovely to have you here joining me for a pick a card reading. I'm Nev, by the way, and if you're a returning viewer and subscriber, then thanks ever so much for tuning in for another pick a card reading. So today we're doing, what is actually going on between you and them. So it's, if you're in a bit of a confusing situation, you don't really know what's happening. We're going to be looking at what's really going on between you and them in this connection. So let's get straight to our three piles. Okay guys, so here we have our three piles. We have pile number 1, which is new moon in Aries, and it has the phrase go for it. So that is new moon in Aries. So it's that pile with the Turritilla. It's called Turritilla or Turritilla agate stone here. Okay, and then we have pile number 2, which is the last quarter moon in Scorpio, and it says reveal what needs to be seen. So that is the last quarter moon in Scorpio. So that's pile number 2 with this little blue marbled effect kind of bead really. Okay, that's pile number 2, and then pile number 3, which is new moon in Libra. Know you are loved. New moon in Libra. There you go, that's pile number 3. And it is with the little pink bead here. This little pink bead. Okay, so those are your three piles. Use your intuition to guide you to go for the right pile. There might be more than one pile, that's absolutely fine. And equally, there might be certain messages in your pile that don't resonate. And that's, you don't have to take those messages. Never take something that doesn't feel right. There might be another pile, or it might be a message that's meant for somebody else, because lots of people do listen to the readings. And remember, it is timeless, so it should be good for whenever you're finding it. But otherwise, I'll see you in your reading. Bye for now. Hey pile number 1, and welcome back to your reading today. So today's pick a card reading we're doing, aren't we? What is going on, what's actually going on between you and them, what's really going on. So you chose to come into the reading under this card, and it says new moon in Aries, and it says go for it, which of course is very typical Aries, because Aries is the start of the zodiac, and it's very much about, it's got that energy, that very strong energy of just going for something, just having that initial energy, that spark. That's probably why you've got all these kind of like very warm colours around this new moon in Aries card really. So I feel like there's a lot of there's a lot of energy, a lot of passion. Sorry, you also got the Turritilla agate here. A lot of desire maybe at the moment in this situation to get it off the ground, to get it started. Maybe it's a crush situation or an attraction situation that you're talking about, or maybe it's a reconciliation or something like that, and somebody wants to just go for this situation. There's a lot of energy and passion in this card, a lot of enthusiasm. But let's see what else you've got. Pay attention to the signs, card number 10. So it might have been, it might be a new beginning, because 10s is usually a sort of tough, the ending of a cycle with a view to a new beginning. But there might be some, you might be getting some intuitive hits or some synchronicities or signs around this connection. You might be getting that at the moment. Oh, we have 31 divine love. 31 divine love. And this card shows, I don't know if you can see, but around it you've got all these kind of roses, and roses always represent love, healing, unconditional love, compassion, that kind of thing. But you've also got rose quartz in this as well, because these cards depict both plants and crystal energy. So you've got divine love, compassion, healing. 3 and 1 cancels down to 4, and that is all about laying foundations, making plans, bringing things into reality, security, that kind of thing. So it's looking good so far. And then you have, oh my goodness, then you have the gift, card number 17. And this card is like somebody wanting, it goes with the go for it, somebody wanting to give you something, somebody wanting to gift you with something. It's normally a bit of a surprise. Sometimes it can indicate, some of the meanings of this card is it might come as a bit of a surprise to you. You know, and it's about being open. I think this card is saying be open to whatever it is that's being offered to you. So this could be, I feel like for many of you, this might be something that's beginning or that's starting or that's reigniting or restarting. Or there's got the energy around it is for that to happen. There's a potential for that to happen in this situation. Yeah, but anyway, let's see. And it might be that with a divine love, that it's kind of being, it's fated, it's guided in some way to kind of happen. You know, and it's almost on the precipice, it's on the verge of happening, or it is happening right now, or it's about to happen. Sometimes this card can mean like that it has a bit of a timing meaning to this card actually, where it's just sort of like about, you know, coming up to the next holiday or your birthday or Christmas or something like that. There's a sort of timing element. So you're being gifted something up to the next kind of major kind of holiday or event or something like that. So that might be a bit of a timing issue for some of you. Where are we now? So we're now in June, aren't we? So maybe something by Christmas or before Christmas, or it's kind of gaining momentum now. But with the go for it, I feel like it's kind of like, you know, whatever's going on in this situation, it's about to sort of happen in a very positive way. So either it's a reconciliation or a renewal, or it's a start of something. But let's see, so what is actually going on? So if you've liked, subscribed, shared, thank you so much for doing that. I really do appreciate that. It gives me so much motivation to continue. And if you want to carry on hearing readings like this one, then if you could subscribe, just takes a couple of seconds, then I would really appreciate that. But let us see. So what is actually going on between part number one and their person? So we have, the Six of Wands, the Page of Swords. Six of Wands, Page of Swords. What else have we got here? What's going on between part number one and their person? I feel like that one is poking out. What's that? Oh, two seem to want to come out there. So we have Three of Cups and the Empress. Yeah, very positive cards. I feel like at the moment, if you're with this person, then I feel like this person is really into, it doesn't feel like it's confusing or anything like that for them. They just want to go for this situation. So if you're with them already, and the overarching energy is the Ace of Swords, if you're with them already, then they just want to carry on building on that, because they see it as a really positive situation. They may even want to, you know, offer you more with the gift card here. But if it feels like to me that it might be more for some of you where it's sort of like, you know, it's, you're maybe not with them and it's just beginning, and it's, you know, it's like a really this person sees this, or this situation has the potential to be really, really, really happy, because you've got the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is happiness, it's celebration. It's got the Empress, which is about growth. It's about, you know, nurture, caring for something, growing something, creating something. So I feel like this situation has huge potential to grow into something really very wonderful, very nurturing, very loving. The Six of Wands is a card of victory and recognition. So it makes me feel that, you know, that this situation is almost, you know, got the potential to be so strong and victorious and sort of recognised by you and them. I feel like there's an equality, or there could be an equality between the two of you. But with the Go For It being your main card here, and the new moon in Aries, I feel like new moons is like wiping the slate clean, or it's the beginning of the moon phase. So it makes me feel that this is in the beginning phases. So it's either some sort of crush situation where it's going to happen, you know, if you're thinking about somebody and that you're wondering, you know, whether they like you back, whether they're going to make a move, something like that, it's going to happen. Or if it's in the beginning phases, then it feels incredibly positive. It has a lot of boldness to it. So I feel like with the Go For It and the gift, I feel like somebody, maybe a person, is wanting to maybe make a bold gesture, because we've got the Page of Swords and we have the Ace of Swords. which is again about sort of like being clear, being honest, being true. And again, it's about a new beginning. So aces are all about new beginnings. So I feel like at the moment it's a new beginning. It's a chance for a new start, an honest new start, a clear new start, something where it can bring you a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. There might be at the moment as well, if it's kind of like where somebody is just about to make that move, just about to go for it, and there might be some, curiosity still. They might be checking you out. They might be looking at you online. You might be looking at them. But the Page of Swords is about, again, doing a bold gesture. Pages are about messages. It goes with the gift. So maybe this person wants to message you, wants to do something bold to, bring victory into this situation. And for them, victory means being with you, being recognised, by you. And you might be getting lots of signs, like I say, lots of signs and synchronicities about this. So you might be just feeling intuitively very drawn to this. You might be seeing a lot of signs, that mean something to you, something to them. There's something like that going on. If it's a cross situation, you might be bumping into them all the time, or something like that. So those are saying, it's saying, pay attention to those signs, those synchronicities, if you like, about this connection. So it feels very positive, but it does feel, to be honest, that it's beginning. It's got the energy or the flavour of just beginning or starting or renewing, and it's about, going for that and just trusting that, because there is love. There's a lot of love in this situation with your divine love here, card number 31. So let's see what else we've got here. So what is actually going on? In terms of astrological signs, the Six of Wands, that is Leo energy. Page of Swords could be any of the air signs of Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Three of Cups is Cancer energy. The Empress is Taurus. And the Ace of Swords, again, any of the air signs of Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. So what is actually going on? Oh, honesty. And that's interesting because you've got two cards here that are about swords. You've got the Page of Swords and you've got the Ace of Swords. And that is also, that's all about truth and, clear thinking and bold action. So I feel like maybe this, if it's a reconciliation or a renewal, maybe it's something like that. And it says relationships need trust, honesty. So I feel like with the Two Swords cards coming up, that this situation is going to get more honest, or if that was an issue before, it is going to become more honesty. And it might be why you've got to pay attention to the signs. So maybe there was some deceit or something before, and you would distrust this person, or you would question this person, because there were some honesty issues. I feel like with the Two Swords coming up here, and with the overarching energy being the Ace of Swords, there is a brand new honest connection that this situation is kind of going to move into, really. But anyway, let's see what else we've got. So what is actually going on between pile number 1 and their person, please? What's actually going on between pile number 1 and their person? We have the Hermit. Yeah, so some of you this might be a reconciliation for some of you. We have the Knight of Cups. What is actually going on between pile number 1 and their person, please? We have the Seven of Wands. What's actually going on between pile number 1 and their person? And the Two of Pentacles. And the overarching energy is Justice. Yeah, so I feel like that there is this if you're in separation from this person, which a few of you might be, because you've got the Hermit card here. So the Hermit card is an inward energy. It's an energy of being alone, obviously, with the being called the Hermit. But in that period of aloneness, there is a lot of reflection. So I feel like if you're in separation, then what's going on is that this person, you and your person, or maybe your person, is doing a lot of reflecting, a lot of soul searching, a lot of going inwards. That's why they've got the little light in their lantern here. The star in the lantern. Now the star is a symbol of hope and healing. So I feel in that period of separation, if you've been in separation with them, that they've been doing a lot of reflection, a lot of healing, and they still have a lot of hope for the situation, for the connection. And it comes right next to the Knight of Cups, which is the card, you know, this is a gesture. It goes very much with the gift and the go for it. So I feel like this person wants to come forward and offer you something, offer you a new beginning, a new start. They may actually want to give you something, because the Knight of Cups is about doing romantic gestures, deeds, you know, saying romantic things. They are very much like that. They're also the sign of Pisces, so Pisces might mean something to you. So out of a period of reflection and separation, they want to give you something. They want to come forward. They want to go for it with you again. It might be with the Two of Pentacles at the moment in this kind of like sort of weighing up phase, really, and that would go with the Hermit card, because the Two of Pentacles is about weighing things up. It's maybe about two choices as well. It's maybe about wondering about, it could be a bit of stuckness. So it may be with the Hermit and the Two of Pentacles, the situation is a little bit stuck maybe for some of you. But I feel like with the Knight of Cups, the gift card, the go for it, that it's kind of on the verge of changing, that this person is going to want to come forwards and reconcile or be with you. If it's not a crush situation, not a separation situation, or a no contact, or you're not with them, but it's like a crush situation, and I feel like there's a lot of it might be a bit stuck, so it might be a bit, there's no action at the moment. It's sort of you're not really sure whether they like you, whether they don't like you. It's got that kind of energy. But I feel like there's a lot of reflection going on. There's a lot of realisation going on about how they feel about you. And I feel that they want to go for it. They want to make a move in this situation because they feel very romantic towards you here with the Knight of Cups. Now, the overarching energy is justice. So justice is about fairness, it's about balance. It's making me think of Libra, because Libra is the sign that is associated with the Justice card, because Libra is all about, fairness, compassion, love and balance. So I feel like this person is also, it reminds me of the legal system, which is about getting to the truth of something, and you have the honesty card here. So if there's been any issues around deception or lack of honesty, I feel like what's going to happen is that this situation is going to move into a much more honest phase, a phase where it's more balanced, it's fairer. So if it hasn't been fair, I feel like the overarching energy is for it to become more fair, more balanced, more honest, maybe more open in some way. I think like that's where it's moving to. That's what's going to happen. And I feel like your person is going to move towards you. So if you've been in separation from them, or if you're in you're wondering about whether this person wants to be with you because it's a crush or something, this person's going to make a move. They want to make a move, because you've got the Page of Swords, which is all about messaging, new beginnings. You've got the Ace of Swords, which is about a brand new beginning. You've got the Go For It card. You've got the gift. You've got the divine love. And they feel very romantic towards you because you've got the Knight of Cups, and Knights are all about action. So I feel like this person wants to act and move towards you. Now, it may be a bit of a challenge. They may think that it's a little bit of a challenge, or there may be certain challenges in this connection, but these are not challenges that can't be overcome, because the Seven of Wands clearly shows that this person has the upper hand over all these wands that are trying to challenge them. And that is the message of the Seven of Wands. There are hurdles, there are challenges, there are, certain things that maybe you have to overcome, but you can easily do it. You have the upper hand, you are able to do that. So I feel like if this situation is challenging, or there's been challenges in it, or difficulties in it, I think through reflection and maybe being away from each other, or giving it a lot of thought, and having a lot of positivity towards it, having a lot of optimism, because the gift card is about being open to the gift, being open to what's being offered to you. So with an open mind and a loving heart and a commitment again to the situation, then I feel like this situation can come back into balance, and you can have an honest new beginning with this person. Now the Hermit card is Virgo, the Knight of Cups is Pisces, Seven of Wands is Leo, and the Two of Pentacles is Capricorn energy, and of course Justice is Libra. Let's see what else we've got. What is actually going on between pile number 1 and their person. What is actually going on between pile number 1 and their person? Resolutions. There you go. See, strive for harmonious solutions, and that is what the Justice card is. You know, getting a fair outcome. You know, striving for that. So I feel like if you've come into separation from them, or there's been some issues or problems, then you can resolve it. It will be resolved, in fact. You know, and it'll be, and I feel like it'll be better. It'll be better because you will have both gained some clarity in the, you know, in the separation, if you've been in separation, and you both want to resolve the situation in a positive way. But there needs to be honesty, and I think you both want that. So what else is going on between pile number 1 and their person? Expectations. Have realistic expectations. And then you've got friendship. Successful couples are good friends. So maybe it's about, you know, if you're in separation from them, or, you know, it's about in that kind of period of reflection, maybe healing. It's about thinking about how you can build a stronger base for the connection, where it's based on friendship as well. You might even be, you know, if it's a crush situation, you might already be friends, in which case it can, you know, it has a very strong, firm foundation. But anyway, pile number 1, that's been your reading. I hope you've liked it. If you have, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 2, and welcome back to your reading. So today's pick a card reading is, you know, what's really going on between the two of you, between you and them, what's actually going on. So you chose to come in to this reading under the last quarter moon in Scorpio, and it says reveal what needs to be seen. So Scorpio is quite a secretive sign, so it's interesting. It says reveal what needs to be seen. Scorpio might mean something to you. So perhaps in this connection, for some of you, yeah, it might be confusing because it feels like there's a lot of stuff going on, maybe behind the scenes or under the surface, or you don't, you know, you can't work it out. There's some secrets maybe, or something hidden. You feel like something's hidden, or something like that, and it's tricky, and something needs to come to the light in some way, or you're looking for answers or something like that. But let's have a look and see. So we've also got the little blue bead here. This looks quite, I mean, it does look like, I mean, this card is quite a peaceful card though. It's a very intuitive, I feel like that one also, that's also reminding me of, oh, it's gone from my mind. It will come to me. A certain crystal, it's reminding me of a certain crystal. Amethyst, sorry, I don't know how I forgot that. It's reminding me of the amethyst. So it just makes me feel like there's a lot of, yeah, it's quite deep. It feels like a deep connection. It feels like a deep connection, particularly with a Scorpio. A deep connection, but maybe with some, yeah, a lot of sort of depths, but maybe something hidden or secret or something like that. But anyway, let's see. So we've got victim consciousness, card number 12, victim consciousness. We've got official person, card number 22. And then we've got clarity, so that's interesting, card number 17. Now this one is about, it shows peppermint and fluorite, and it's basic. It's actually about, you know, because it's about needing to clear your mind really, so that you can, you know, get rid of any wounds or biases, so you can be open to anything new connections or fresh ways of seeing things. So maybe this is a sort of situation where, yeah, there's been some, because of maybe a lack of communication or things that are not open, things that are unsaid or something like that, then, you know, it needs to cut. There needs to be more clarity. There needs to be more openness maybe in the connection. Maybe as well there's a bit of an imbalance in the connection as well, because you've got victim consciousness and then you've got this official person. So somebody might feel like less powerful. This is a very card of obvious kind of power and status, and then you've got the victim card, which is a card of obvious lack of power. So it might be that, you know, there's a bit of power imbalance in this connection as well. And what would make it better is that to gain some kind of clarity, some kind of openness. So maybe it's a hidden situation for some of you, and it needs to be made more official. It needs to be out in the open. So it could be that this is a secret situation, and it's requiring, and it's keeping someone, you know, someone's gaining more for it than the other, gaining more from it than the other person in some way. And there needs to be, you know, it needs to come out into the open. It needs to be clearer. It needs to be more honest. Reveal what needs to be seen. Because the last quarter moon can be about letting go of something that's no longer serving you, but it's also about reevaluating and balancing it out. So interestingly, it might be something like that, where this situation is hidden, or it's secret, or there's a lack of balance to it, or you know, someone's gaining more than the other person, and there needs to be more of a balance to it. It needs to be more open and honest, possibly. But anyway, let's see. You know, if that doesn't sound like your kind of situation, you might want to pick up in one of the other piles. But let's see. So thank you very much if you've subscribed, if you have liked, given me a thumbs up, if you've commented, I really appreciate that. And if you feel like you want to subscribe, particularly if you like the reading, then please do. But let's see what is actually going on between Four of Swords, between pile number 2 and their person. What is actually going on between pile number 2 and their person? I feel like that one. The Wheel. What's actually going on between pile number 2 and their person? The Hanged Man. What's actually going on between pile number... And the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Swords. Yeah, so I feel like for a lot of you, you are, you know, possibly in separation from this person, or you're in a situation where you're thinking that maybe you want to walk away, because we've got the Eight of Cups and we've got the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Cups is about actually walking away from something, actually. So somebody might have actually you might have actually walked away from this situation, the person might have actually walked away from this situation, and you might be in separation from them, because we've got the Four of Swords, which is a card of rest, recuperation and healing. So this might have been a really tough situation, or this might be a really tough situation for you at the moment. With the victim, I kind of get the sense that maybe in this situation, you know, you haven't been treated right, or you haven't been treated fairly with the victim consciousness here and this official person, or there's been some sort of wounding, some sort of hurt, really, because this person is all curled up in this nest with all these sharp thorns, and their heart is just there. So I feel like maybe for some of you, you had to retreat or walk away, or to protect your heart, to protect yourself, because maybe somebody wasn't treating you properly, or it was some secret to it, or you know, or maybe there was just, you know, maybe it's a situation whereby, you know, you have to, with the Hanged Man here, you know, see it possibly for what it is, see it for, you know, shift your perspective, see it for something that potentially can, you know, make you feel, not make you feel very powerful, or create a lack of balance in you, or make you feel as though you are, you know, not being treated well in some way, because the Hanged Man is shifting your perspective, you know, looking at it from a new perspective, a new angle. And we've got reveal what needs to be seen here. Now, it might be that this connection is a connection that happens in cycles, or because it's the Wheel of Fortune can be a cyclical thing, and with all these other cards around it, it might be that it goes, you know, it goes up and down. It's unpredictable. You can't rely on it. It is, something that goes up and down, or you might come together, you might fall apart, you might come together, you might fall apart. So it might have got into that pattern, or it could just be that it is unpredictable and unreliable. And it may be that it's just, you know, maybe your person is just thinking it brings them good times, or it might have a lot of excitement to it. For example, it might have a lot of excitement to it, a lot of thrills to it, because this person has some dice around her neck, and that's reminding me of sort of gambling, where you get that initial high or that thrill from it, but then there's lots of lows with it, a bit like the Wheel of Fortune, where you go up and where you go down. Because the overarching energy is the Eight of Swords, which is a sense of being stuck, being trapped in your own thoughts, trapped as well in the situation, feeling stuck, feeling unhappy. So it could be that you need rest and recuperation from this connection, because, you know, this is a card of respite, you know, because it's bringing you a lot of stress. It's bringing you a lot of turmoil. It's bringing you a lot of worries. And the reveal, what needs to be seen, is for you to see it with fresh eyes, with a new perspective, to see it maybe for what it is, really. Which, you know, and that you walk away from something or this situation if it's not treating you fairly, if it's not clear, if it's not honest. Yeah, something like that that's going on here. Right, let's see. In terms of astrological signs, I mean, the Four of Swords, that is Libra energy. The Wheel, no, the Hanged Man is Pisces energy. The Eight of Cups is also Pisces, and the Eight of Swords is Gemini. So let's see what else we've got actually going on here. What's actually going on between pile number 2 and their person? What's actually going on at the moment between pile number 2 and their person? Like that one. Abundance. Be open to accept an abundance of love. So maybe, you know, you know, it's about maybe a message to you, possibly, to, you know, if you feel stuck in this situation, or if you feel this situation isn't valuing you, or it's not giving you what you want, this card is saying, you know, you deserve, maybe you deserve better, you deserve more love, more, yeah, and that's maybe why it could be about walking away from the situation if you haven't walked away from it already. Because the last quarter moon is about release in many ways, about letting go. So, and this card could be about saying to you, look, there's an abundance of other opportunities for you. But let's see what else we've got. Let's see what the other cards say. I mean, it could be that if you're with this person at the moment, that it just needs to have, you know, it could be that it needs to have some time apart. It needs to have some respite. It needs to have some healing, because, you know, maybe it's been quite tough, really, for both of you, or certainly for you, pile number 2, I think. And I just get the sense, because these cards are so opposite, that, you know, maybe you have, you know, you are not, you have maybe less power in the situation than the other person does. And so it's kind of maybe more detrimental for you to be in it, really. But let's see. What's that one? Justice, yeah. There needs to be fairness in this situation. I feel like at the moment there's sort of maybe a lack of fairness, because there's a lack of balance in it. What is actually going on between pile number 2? What's actually going on between pile number 2 and their person, please? What's actually going on? The Empress. What's actually going on between pile number 2 and their person, please? The Magician. And then you've got the Eight of Swords again. Okay, so what's at the bottom of the deck? It's the Hierophant. Right, okay, so this is interesting. So I feel like at the moment the situation is stuck, because you've got the Eight of Swords coming up twice. So the Eight of Swords is about being stuck, but it is about being, you know, with the Eight of Swords, it's about not seeing something, because this person has got a blindfold over their eyes, and in all the Eight of Swords, it's about a lack of being able to see something. And because you've got Reveal What Needs to Be Seen as your main card, there's something about, and clarity as well, There's something about not, you know, maybe not seeing something. So maybe, you know, at the moment there is a lack of fairness, is it in it? There is a lack of balance, and it's because there needs to be a sort of shift or a new perspective. You need to somehow, maybe you need to view the situation differently. Maybe there needs to be a different way in which you view the situation. So what I would say in this situation is there is potential for it to have an abundance of love. It's a potential to bring it back into balance, potential for it to grow and develop in some way with the Empress card here, because that is a card of abundance, creativity, growth. Balance is possible. So if you're in separation, it is possible that this situation can be brought back into balance, can grow, can manifest in some way again, yeah? Because you've got the Hierophant as the overarching energy, which is a card of commitment. It's a card of commitment. It can be linked to marriage in that way, so it's a very sort of formal commitment. So I think that this card, and it's funny because you've got the abundance here, that maybe it's just that you need to shift the way in which you view this connection, or your person and you need to shift the energy, really. So at the moment it seems like maybe it's a hidden or a secret situation, it needs to be shifted and brought out into the light to make it more balanced. Or if it's in separation because there were imbalances where things weren't fair, weren't equal, then it needs to be, you know, in that period of separation, you need to get greater clarity on maybe what you want from a situation and be clear and assertive when you go back into the situation again. Because I think this situation has definitely got potential to reinvent itself, if you like, but it's all about taking off the blindfold and being honest about, you know, how you feel, how they feel, so that you can kind of like begin again in some way. And also where you are both more equal, where there's an equal share, an equal balance between the two of you. And I think if you can do that, and I think that with the Empress card and the Magician card, they're both two manifestation cards. So I feel like this if it's in separation, this can reinvent itself. It can begin anew. It can be more abundant and more nurturing, more loving, more caring. But it needs to be shifted with a Hanged Man. The perspective, the previous way in which you did things needs to shift. It needs to completely turn on its head, really. Completely turn on its head, so that the power is more evenly distributed between the two of you. That is what I think is actually going on between you. So I feel like a lot of you are probably in separation. Maybe you've either walked away, or maybe you're on the point of walking away. Maybe it was a situation where it was just a bit of a fling, or just something that went in cycles, something that was thrilling, that gave you a lot of thrills, but maybe wasn't that great, you know, in terms of commitment, or you know, you felt you were getting the lesser deal, if you like. And what you need to see now is that if you go back into that situation, so if it's a situation that was in cycles, what you need to do is shift it and be more assertive and say, no, I'm not happy with that anymore. I need to have a better balanced connection, something where I feel more, where I've got equal power with you, where we are out in the open, where it is, you know, clear that we're in this situation, we're in a committed situation, or something like that. And there's greater clarity, so it's not a situation that's confusing, puzzling, you don't know what's happening. You know, it can only survive, if you like, or it can only get better if there is clarity and honesty and commitment in the situation. If there isn't that, then it's going to remain stuck, and, you know, you're going to feel like you want to walk away if you haven't already. So that's kind of what I feel is going on in this situation. And I feel like I don't know why, but I'm drawn to sort of like hands. the hands in the Empress and the hands in the Justice card. So I feel like it's almost like I want to say it's in your hands, and I feel like the hand of the Magician here. It's in your hands to maybe say, to maybe stand up for yourself, because this victim consciousness, stand up for yourself and say, look, if I'm going to carry on in this situation, then this is how it's got to be. It's got to be fair. It's got to be fair. I've got to be recognised. I've got to be acknowledged. I've got to be, you know, seen. I've got to be in the same. We've got to be equal. We've got to be partners. Otherwise, I refuse to be stuck in this situation anymore. What I'm doing now is I'm taking off that blindfold, and I'm seeing, you know, where I want to go in my life, where I want this connection to go, and I'm not going to blind myself to maybe what's been going on, you know, up until now. This is what I want. This is how I want it. And I want commitment, and I want it to grow in an abundant, creative way. I want to manifest it. I want it to bring it back into balance. I want it to have a fair connection with you. And if I can't have that, then I'm prepared to walk away, or something like that. But in terms of astrological signs, then Justice is Libra, Empress is Taurus, Magician, sorry, the Eight of Swords is Gemini energy, and Hierophant is Taurus. So let's see what else we've got. What's actually going on between partner number 2 and their person? Because if you could do that, I think it's got a huge amount of potential, this connection. You know, but there needs to be a shift of a way of thinking, a shift in the way you do things, a complete reversal, really, if you like, in how things have been conducted up until now. Chemistry, embrace a mutual attraction. So yeah, with the Wheel card here, I feel like there probably is a lot of chemistry between the two of you. What is actually happening between pile number 2 and their person, please? Arrival, love may be just around the corner. So yeah, it feels to me like if you can, you know, get yourself into a different headspace, and they can get themselves into a different headspace, I feel like there's a lot of, you know, potential for this situation. What have we got here? Free will. The path you take is up to you. So it could be like you say, like you're in a bit of a crossroads in this situation. You know, whether you carry on with this situation. So you might be contemplating. You might not have actually walked away yet, but you might be contemplating, because the Hanged Man is about contemplation. The Four of Swords is about rest and respite and rejuvenation, where you're thinking about it. It may have been exhausted. It may have been a connection that exhausted you, and this is just reminding you that you know, you don't have to stay in this situation. You can take whatever path you like. But I feel like the only way this situation can give you, you know, like a committed, balanced, fair connection where you're valued properly is if you are really assertive and say, this is what I want from the connection. I'm not prepared to put up with anything less. You sort of really stand your ground, pile number 2. And if they don't want to give you that, then you are prepared to walk away, and that there's a promise of other things for you going forwards. But anyway, that has been your reading. I hope you've liked it. If you have, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 3, and welcome back to today's reading. So we are doing, aren't we, you know, what is actually going on between you and them, what's really happening in this connection. You know, if you're a little bit confused, you don't really know, we're going to hopefully make that a bit clearer for you. So today's reading, you chose to come in under this card, which is New Moon in Libra, and it says, know you are loved. Know you are loved. So I'm going to put that there, plus this little pink bead here. So I'm going to put that there. I've also pre-shuffled some oracle cards, so let's have a look and see what we've got. Oh, lovely. So we've got dreams. Dreams. Beautiful, actually. You can see that, dreams. This little fairy, or looks like a little fairy, doesn't it? Sleeping with this tiger. Okay, dreams. Lovely. Then we have, oh, gorgeous, number 5, healing heart. Healing heart. Now this shows, I think it's the plant that's called Bleeding Heart, actually, and it's also got emeralds in it. So these cards show both plant energy and crystal energy. So the Bleeding Heart is the plant and the emeralds are the crystals or the stones. It's just so gorgeous, isn't it, that card? And we've got Main Male, card number 1. Okay, so I feel like there might be some, just for some of you, there may, because this card number 5 is about challenges, change, disruption, risks, that kind of stuff. And I'm just noticing the card number 5 and the heart healing. So, that could be, some of you might be going through a healing phase, because this card can represent, healing a broken hearts, because of relationship issues. And emeralds are about emotional kind of healing. So I'm just wondering if some of you are it's maybe a time of healing for you in this situation, for whatever reason. Maybe you're in separation or something like that, or you're trying to heal. And this has got pink and green. It's all about the heart chakra colours. So it could be that there's been some challenges or some issues, and there needs to be some healing, or you're having some healing, or you're going through a healing phase. Maybe your person is. With the dreams phase, that just reminds me of sleeping. This girl has actually this fairy has got her eyes closed. So maybe this is a connection that is currently in separation or sleeping in some way, and maybe there's a lot of dreaming going on about, you're connecting in the 5D, you're dreaming about one another, you're dreaming about them, they're dreaming about you, and they want you to know that you're loved. New moon in Libra is, this card particularly pertains to a new romantic cycle beginning, so a new start really. But it's based on give and take, because Libra is about the card, it's a sign of balance, isn't it? And love and harmony. So maybe, a new beginning is happening in this connection for you, out of something, maybe it's a revival in some way. Main male, I feel like this person wants you to see them as their main person, that you are the main person for them, and they are the main person for you. Certainly looks very confident, doesn't it, this person here? So let's see let's just draw some tarot and see what we've got. Thank you very much if you have subscribed, give me a thumbs up, comments here, really appreciate that. I'm not going to take that because I haven't asked the question yet, so I'm just going to put that one back. So let's just see, what is actually going on between pile number 3 and their person, please? What's actually going on? Ace of Pentacles. What's actually going on between pile number 3 and their person, please? 10 of Wands. The Lovers. What's actually going on between pile number 3 and their person? Temperance. And we have the Empress. I think the Empress has come out in all of the 3 piles. It certainly came out in pile number 2. I think it might have come out in pile number 1. But anyway, so I feel like I feel like there's the ending of a tough cycle. So you might have been going through a tough cycle in this connection, because the 10 of Wands is a tough cycle. Somebody's feeling burdened, feeling weighed down by something. And it could be that's why you've got the heart healing. So maybe that tough cycle for some of you, just for some of you, has brought you into separation. But it might just be that you're with someone and it's just gone through a little bit of a tough cycle. But with the 10 of Wands, tends always come down to ones, don't they? And it's interesting because you've got the Ace of Pentacles right next to it. So I feel like it feels like the tough cycle is coming to an end, and there's a new start, a new beginning here with the Ace of Pentacles, really, a sort of a tangible new beginning in this situation. Now, it could have been that a third element has got in the way of this situation with the Lovers card here, because the Lovers card can be about choices in love. So maybe it's a tough, there was a tough cycle, just for some of you, which involved a third element, but that is coming to an end now. That is not going to have an influence anymore, because next to that you've got the card of Temperance, which is about balance. It is about harmony. It's about you know, it's also kind of mixing and blending. So I feel like maybe this situation is coming out of a tough cycle, is getting its balance back, it's beginning to, you know, have all the right ingredients again to make it balanced, because the overarching energy is the Empress. And the Empress is a card of manifestation, really, because obviously the Empress is always often depicted as pregnant, so, you know, she's the ultimate manifester, the ultimate creator, the ultimate symbol of growth and rebirth or birth, and, you know, abundance and happiness and comfort, and also I feel like you know, there's a lot of, because the Empress always reminds me of Taurian energy, and whenever I think of Taurus, I always think of the five senses and how Taurians love to experience life through the five senses. So they're very sensual, they're very, you know, they love pleasure, they love beauty and all of that. So I just feel like for me, this, if it has been a difficult time, if you're with someone and it's gone through a difficult time, and maybe for some of you it's brought you into separation, I feel like all these cards are confirming this phrase that says, no, you are loved, because I feel like there is a lot of love, your person has a lot of love for you still, and I feel like if you're not with them because of separation, they want to be back with you, because we've got the Ace of Pentacles here, which is a new beginning. They see you in a very beautiful way. They see you as their person, really. I mean, you might be married to this person, because you've got the main male and you've got the Empress, and this main male reminds me of the Emperor, really. So I feel like you might be counterparts, or they're seeing you as the person for them. You are their Empress to their main male, or the Emperor, really. So I feel like they're seeing you as, because you might even be married to this person. This might be just you are married to this person. You've just been going for a bit of a tough time, and you're wondering what, you know, what's going on here. But I just feel like that, you know, that tough cycle is definitely coming to an end. And if it involved a third element, I feel like that third element is not, because in this here, you have the third element here, but these two are looking at each other. But, you know, she's on the outside, or this person, this energy is on the outskirts now. They're not, they can only look in on the situation. They can't really do anything about it. You know, both people here are committed. So I feel like that third element is, particularly because you've got the balance, the Temperance card on that side of it, and all the other cards, says to me that that third element is not an issue anymore, or won't be, and that you should know that you are loved in this connection by your person. Now, in terms of astrological signs, I mean, the Ace of Pentacles could be any of the earth signs of Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Ten of Wands is Sagittarius. The Lovers, of course, is Gemini. And Temperance is Sagittarius. Now, of course, the Lovers card, you know, to get that in a love reading, sorry, that's the Temperance card. To get the Lovers in, it not only means choice, but it means a very significant connection. And with the whole, you know, Emperor, Empress, it makes me feel like this is a, you know, like this is like a counterpart situation. This is, you know, could be a sort of soulmate kind of connection here. But it just might mean that, you know, there needs to be a little bit of healing, a little bit of, maybe a little bit of, yeah, a little bit of self-love, maybe. Yeah, some healing in the situation. Maybe some rest as well with the dreams, you know, some rest, yeah, something like that. But anyway, let's see what else we've got for you. So, let's see. What is, you know, really going on? What's actually going on between pile number 3 and their person? Oh, actually, what I'm going to do, sorry, I'm going to do one of these cards. Actually, a bit of a change of mind there. What is really going on? What is actually going on between pile number 3 and their person? Compromise. Compromise is not submission. So yeah, maybe in this situation, if it has been a bit of tough, if there's some problems that's weighed it down, maybe it's just about you know, compromising, you know, connecting, talking to each other, something like that. Particularly if you're in separation. So maybe something's come along to create a barrier or a problem, and there needs to be a little bit of compromise in that, just for some of you. But anyway, let's see what else we've got. What is actually going on between partner number 3 and their person, please? The Empress again. So this is definitely, you know, right next to the main male. So this situation is definitely going to grow again, is going to be abundant again, is abundant, really, does have the potential for growth, does have the potential, you know, you and them are totally connected, really. I feel like you might be connected on a very spiritual level as well. So yeah, 100%. You might even be, some of you might be pregnant in this situation with the Empress coming up twice, just for some of you. You know, you might be married as well to this person. What's actually going on between partner number 3? The 10 of Swords, right under the 10 of Wands. What is actually going on between partner number 3 and this person? The 8 of Wands and the King of Swords and the 2 of Wands. Yeah, so for some of you, you might be, like I said, with the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords in separation. This might have been a situation with the healing, with the dreams. I think I said at the beginning that, you know, it's coming to separation. Because, you know, it's no coincidence that you've got the 10 of Wands and then directly underneath it you've got the 10 of Swords, which is about tens, is about, you know, the endings and completions, the endings of tough cycles, of difficult cycles. But out of both of these cards, there is always a new beginning, a new start. And I feel like with coming right next to the Empress and right next to the 8 of Wands, so I feel like if you've separation from this person, you know, you won't be in separation from them anymore, because this is coming to an end. This period, this tough cycle, this difficult cycle is coming to an end, because maybe there's a lot of dreaming, there's a lot of fantasizing. They want to be the main person for you again. They want you and them to go back to being how you were, really, which is, you know, this kind of really strong couple. There's probably, if there was a third element that got in the way of this, I think there's probably a lot of regret on this person's part. The King of Swords is about plans and strategizing. Swords is all about truth, honesty. The Kings are always wise energy. So the fact that they're the King of Swords shows me that they are wise energy. They are giving you a lot of thought, a lot of planning. The King of Swords is a little bit cut off emotionally, so maybe they're just a little bit cut off emotionally from you at the moment if you're in separation, but they don't want to be. But they definitely want to be seen as the main person, the one in charge, the one who's going to take charge of the situation, the one who's going to, bring the situation back, if you like. So I feel like this person is planning and strategizing. Now, at the moment, we've got the 2 of Wands, which is, again, a card of, funnily enough, it's about maybe, the 2 of Wands is about when the Ace of Wands is the seed, the spark, if you like. So I feel like maybe this person is beginning to sort of plant seeds to come back towards you, to be with you. And the 2 of Wands is about waiting to see, if there's going to be bear any fruit. So with the King of Swords here, they might want to communicate with you. They may want to sort of like try and message you. With the 8 of Wands is about coming directly towards you in a very clear and focused way. So they may have already, for some of you, if you're in separation, you may have already got some messages from this person, or this person might have connected with you in some way, and you're just wondering about whether because if something's happened, you're wondering about whether you can trust them again, or whether you want to, what's going on, what are their intentions. I think with this person, their intentions are to be with you, to create something with you, to have an abundant situation with you, to begin something tangible with you, to be clear, because this can be, the ones all going in the one direction, is clear, focused. Underneath the Lovers, which can depict a choice or making choices. So maybe out of this, situation, if some of you were in a situation whereby there was a choice or a third element, this person is now wanting to make a clear move and decision and you know, towards you and them really. But at the moment it might be in a bit of a waiting phase. So they're waiting maybe to see that message or whatever they're planning, you know, they've sent to you, or they're planning of send to you, what, you know, whether it's going to bear any fruit really. But I think with the Empress coming up twice, I mean, that is all about growth, creativity, you know, abundance. So I feel like they definitely want that with you, and they might have been dreaming about that. But it might mean that there's, you know, you've gone through a bit of a healing situation, or you've had to, it might have been very painful here. But I feel like what's going to happen is there's definitely going to be a reconciliation and rejuvenation, where it's going to be balanced again. Certainly coming up for you, but it might be with a compromise here, that there needs, with that healing, that there needs to be honest heart-to-heart discussions, where there does have to be a little bit of compromise in some way for this situation to kind of move forward. But let's see what else we've got now in terms of astrological signs. I mean, obviously the Empress again, that's Taurus. Ten of Swords is Gemini. Eight of Wands is Sagittarius. King of Swords could be Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. And Two of Wands is a Libra. Let's see what else is happening, what's actually going on between pile number 3 and their person, please. What's actually going on between pile number 3 and their person? Honesty. Relationships need trust. I think I said there might have been a bit of an issue around trust, about whether you could trust them again. So maybe in those heart-to-heart discussions, there needs to be, you know, honesty. They need to be honest, you need to be honest. I feel like this person does want to do that. They want that back. I think they want that. Maybe, you know, you shared a home with them, because this person is in their living room, and it comes right next to the Empress. Maybe you shared a home with them. Maybe you were married to them. Maybe you are still married to them, but, you know, you're in separation or something like that. And I feel like this person wants that back, but there needs to be honesty, compromise, heart-to-heart discussions. Maybe, you know, they need to be honest, or they need to compromise in some way, and that's, you know, that's what's, you know, that's the guidance that you've been given here. And trust. So maybe there's about regaining trust if a third element came into this situation, or something happened in this situation to, you know, make you distrust them in some way. What else is going on in this situation, please? Oh, 2 are coming out here. Let's see what they are. So we've got afraid. It's time to let go of any insecurities. Time to let go of any insecurities. And choices. That could go with the Lover's card. Pause before you choose. So maybe there just needs to be a little bit of, maybe, I don't know what's gone down here, but with the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords, like I said, it might have been quite painful. And maybe this is just saying that you do have choices, but I think from this person's point of view, they would definitely like to reignite this situation, or come towards this situation. Maybe they're realising that they do need to be honest, they need to be compromised, they need to value you again. Maybe with the Empress here coming up twice, you know, they're realising that they definitely, you know, need to value you, because the Empress is somebody that, you know, is recognises their own self-worth. So I think maybe they're thinking, I definitely need to recognise and value and show, you know, commitment towards pile number 3. But anyway, pile number 3, that has been your reading. I hope you've liked it. If you have, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.